Again, this is a quick road test video, and this is for an Alfa Giulietta 2-litre diesel Veloce. Particular car's registered WP60OMD, and mileage at the start is just 49,230 miles. The reason for doing the videos is basically so that anyone that's looking at this car online in an advert actually gets to see the very car in operation. We have our customers travelling to us from the whole of the UK and also Europe, in fact, so the least we can do is go to the time and effort to do this for you. We do know the frustrations of going to see cars, test driving them only to find out they've got a fundamental problem which you clearly should have been told about, so hence that is why we do the videos. The video is also, by the way, done on these very quiet country roads very close to our premises in this lovely part of Gloucestershire. Even on the foulest of days like today, it's still a very pretty part of the world to be, and we're just a couple of minutes off the motorway, so very accessible. The car itself, it's been beautifully looked after by a lifelong friend of mine, actually, who has a habit of keeping his cars in very, very nice condition, and he's done a lovely job on this one. And car itself, engine starts absolutely instantly. It settles to a completely even and smooth idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. The engine, I have to say, is an absolute peach. It's the opposite of what a lot of diesels actually are, because it's very smooth, very quiet in operation. Power delivery is absolutely brilliant. Picks up really keenly, but it pulls very petrol-like in terms of the note of the engine. There doesn't seem to be any kind of diesel clatter at all from it. It's a lovely, lovely unit to use. Engine then feeds through clutch into gearbox. Clutch in the car is absolutely perfect, smooth and silent in operation. Bite point is exactly where it should be on the pedal travel as well. Gearbox, of course, 6-speed gearbox as is the norm these days. Gear linkage feels absolutely super. Gear change is really nice. It's kind of got a nice heavy feel to it, which I really like, but it's slick in engagement. Everything feels exactly as it should be. Steering on the car, which has always been a strong point of Alfa's, and this one's no different. It's lovely and precise. I drove it back because I delivered the car to the last owner, which is good, kind of 70 miles away from me, whilst visiting anyway. And it was lovely driving all the way back across all conditions, windy roads. The steering is really nice, very nicely weighted. Again, just feels nice and without any kind of obvious wear in it, which you'd expect with such a low mileage on the car. Chassis, likewise, it's really nicely tuned to the steering of the vehicle, so the inputs don't unsettle the car. It responds really nicely, very nicely damped, very comfortable actually. That's the one thing I would remark. It deals with kind of imperfections on the road very, very well indeed, despite its quite sporty nature. What I'm looking for on road tests is when it hits a bump, you'll hear it. One here is quite a big bump there, just there. But what you don't be hearing is any kind of secondary sort of clonks or chatterings from underneath the vehicle, but all is in fine fettle. It's literally just gone through an independent MOT without any advisories at all, so everything seems to be in very good order. And they also serviced it, by the way, at the same time, so it did an engine oil service on the car, so no sort of basic maintenance need for the next year or so. Just going to check the brakes, just going to get around the corner a second and give them a bit of a shove. The one there, that's good. I know they're good anyway because I tried them on the trip home and they're absolutely fine, because what I'm looking for on the brakes is just basically there's no kind of pulsing or vibrations coming back through the brake pedal, and that the car pulls up nice and straight. It doesn't deviate violently left or right, and everything's in very good order in that respect. Looking around inside the car, I mean, they are beautifully styled cars. I mean, the Italians do this kind of thing very, very well indeed. but unlike Alfas of the past, and I've driven enough of my friends to know, driving positions used to be interesting, to say the least. The steering wheel seemed to be on the other side of the car, and pedals in the completely opposite direction. But this is, driving position's really good. Dash layout's really nice, and as I said, it's just beautifully styled and very, very well made. I have to say, it's stark contrast to Alfas of many years ago. Everything's working as it should. You've got a dual zone climate control system from side to side. Again, all working as intended as well. Pumps out lovely cold air. Classic instrument cluster, Alfa instrument cluster in front. Very legible, easy to read. Got a little sort of gear change prompter as well on the dash on these cars as well. Temperature gauge running at about half, which is exactly where it should be on an Alfa of this type by all accounts. But it drives really, really nicely. And as I said, it's certainly a credit to the chap that had it to keep it in such nice order. But it just happens to drive beautifully. Having said that, as always, if they've got any questions about the car, please don't hesitate. Do give us a call.